These are the upgrades electricians install in their own homes, but rarely suggest to their clients. And the gap between what a professional electrician lives with every day and what ends up in your walls is bigger than you'd think. Electricians see the consequences of cheap electrical work firsthand. They respond to the house fires. They open up panels that look like ticking time bombs. Over 40,000 home electrical fires happen every year in the United States alone, killing more than 350 people and injuring over 1,400. So when an electrician goes home and wires their own house, they make very specific choices about residential electrical safety and home electrical upgrades, and those choices are worth knowing about. Start with the big one, the electrical panel. If your home was built between the 1950s and the 1980s, there's a real chance you have a Federal Pacific Electric panel with Stab-Lok breakers sitting in your basement or garage right now. These panels carry failure rates as high as 60%. That means the breaker that's supposed to trip and protect your home from an electrical fire may simply not work 6 out of 10 times. Evidence even suggests that FPE falsified their UL listing test results. Their panels were never legitimately UL listed, and that fraud went undetected for years. An estimated 2,800 fires and $40 million in property damage occur every year because of these panels. Insurance companies across the country are flat out canceling policies when they discover Federal Pacific or Zinsco panels during inspections. Zinsco, also sold under the GTE Sylvania name, has the same fundamental problem: breakers that fail to trip under overload conditions, leaving your home completely unprotected. No electrician would have one of these in their own home. Not a chance. And while you're looking at that older panel, pay attention to the wiring behind it. Homes built in the 1960s and 1970s, the same era as FPE and Zinsco panels, often have aluminum branch circuit wiring instead of copper. Aluminum wiring oxidizes at connection points over time, creating resistance, heat, and a serious fire risk. If you have aluminum wiring, look for devices rated ALCU, meaning they're compatible with both aluminum and copper, and consult a licensed electrician about antioxidant compound at every connection point. So what do they install instead? Square DQO panels, the line with the orange-handled breakers. Most electricians consider it the premium residential option, and the reason comes down to engineering. QO panels use a bolt-on breaker design that creates a far more secure connection than the plug-on style found in budget panels. The bus bar is copper, which delivers better conductivity and corrosion resistance than aluminum alternatives. Every QO panel and breaker carries a UL-listed rating, meaning it's been independently tested and certified to meet safety standards, not self-certified by the manufacturer. And you can find QO breakers at virtually every electrical supply house and hardware store in the country, which matters more than you'd think when you need a replacement at 7 on a Saturday night. A square DQO 200 amp panel box runs about $180 to $250. A Siemens panel, the other favorite among pros, costs $150 to $200. That's maybe a $50 to $80 difference on a component that protects your entire house for the next 25 to 40 years. The breakers cost a few dollars more each over time, but this is the electrical heart of your home. Electricians don't cheap out here. One thing worth knowing about those breakers: watch out for tandem or slim breakers, sometimes called half-size or cheater breakers. They let you fit 2 circuits into one slot in a full panel. Electricians use them when necessary and when the panel is rated for them. But an overcrowded panel stuffed with unauthorized tandems is a sign that the system has been pushed beyond its design capacity. A legitimate panel upgrade solves that problem the right way. And speaking of that 200 amp service, if you still have a 60 amp or 100 amp panel, you're living in the past. Modern homes require 50% more electrical capacity than homes built just 15 years ago. Between EV chargers, home offices, smart home systems, and modern HVAC, 200 amps is now the baseline. Some larger homes are moving to 400. For a 200 amp service, the service entrance cable needs to be rated appropriately, typically 20 AWG aluminum or 10 AWG copper for the service conductors, with branch circuit wire gauges matched to each circuit's breaker rating. Running undersized wire on an oversized circuit is one of the most dangerous mistakes in residential wiring. And proper grounding and bonding matter just as much as the wire gauge. Grounding gives fault current a safe path back to the source so a breaker can trip. Bonding ties all the metallic parts of your electrical system together so they stay at the same voltage potential. Without both, a fault condition can energize a water pipe, a gas line, or an appliance chassis. Electricians don't skip this step in their own homes, and neither should anyone working on yours. Now let's talk about something most homeowners have never even heard of: whole home surge protection. Since 2020, the National Electrical Code has required whole home surge protection in new construction. But here's what's wild. According to NEMA, up to 80% of all electrical surges originate from inside your own home, not from lightning strikes. They come from loose wires, malfunctioning appliances, static electricity, or even just turning on your hairdryer or AC unit. These small, repeated surges slowly degrade every piece of electronics in your house. Electricians install Type 2 surge protectors directly on their service panel. The Schneider Electric Square D HEPD80 is a popular choice, carrying an 80 kA protection rating. Total installed cost runs between $300 and $700. That's it, to protect tens of thousands of dollars worth of electronics, appliances, and smart home equipment. Next up are AFCI breakers, or arc fault circuit interrupters. The Consumer Product Safety Commission estimates that more than 50% of electrical fires could be prevented by AFCI breakers. These breakers detect dangerous electrical arcs, the kind that happen inside damaged wires hidden in your walls, and shut the circuit down before a fire starts. The NEC has been expanding AFCI requirements since 1999, starting with bedrooms, then adding living rooms and family rooms in 2008, kitchens in 2014, and as of 2020, combination AFCI protection is required across the board in new construction. AFCI breakers cost $25 to $50 each. Electricians install them throughout their own homes, even on circuits where code doesn't strictly require them, because they know the math: a few $100s in breakers versus losing everything to a wall fire. Here's a smaller detail that says a lot about how electricians think. They install outlets with USB ports built right in, especially at bedside locations, kitchen counters, and home offices. No adapters to lose, no choosing between charging your phone and plugging in a lamp. Some electricians go further and wire fourplex outlets on each side of the expected bed location. 4 outlets per side, 1 for a table lamp, 1 for a clock, 1 for a phone charger, and 1 extra. That's the kind of thinking that comes from doing this work every single day. Electricians are also already preparing for the EV revolution. In 2024, Consumer Reports found that 88% of EV owners use dedicated 240-volt Level 2 home chargers, which deliver 25 to 44 miles of range per hour of charging. Electricians run NEMA 1450 outlets to their garages even before they own an electric vehicle, because running a 240-volt circuit during construction or a panel upgrade costs a fraction of what it costs as a standalone project later. Some setups use a NEMA 1430 outlet instead, which is a common alternative depending on the charger and the load requirements. The average EV charger installation runs about $1,000, but can range from $551 to nearly $1,400 depending on your setup. Future-proofing is always cheaper than retrofitting. Now for the habits, the things electricians do that cost nothing but could save your life. They test their GFCI outlets every single month. Those outlets with the test and reset buttons in your kitchen and bathrooms need regular testing to confirm they'll actually protect you. They keep clear access to their electrical panel at all times, because if there's an emergency and the fire department can't reach your panel, seconds matter. They replace smoke and CO detector batteries once a year and swap out the entire units every 10 years because the sensors degrade, and a decade-old detector might not detect anything at all. And they never do electrical work in flip-flops. As electrician McCusker warns, if you step in water or slip and contact a live wire, you could experience a serious electrical shock. Electrocution occurs more frequently with 120 volts, the standard voltage in your home, than any other level. As Christopher Haas puts it, don't think of it as just 120 volts. Think of it as something that could permanently injure you. So let's bring this all together. The total cost difference between wiring a home the way most contractors do it and wiring it the way an electrician wires their own home is surprisingly small. A better panel, whole home surge protection, AFCI breakers throughout, USB outlets in key locations, and an EV-ready circuit. We're talking maybe $1,500 to $3,000 in additional materials and labor on a project that might already cost tens of thousands. That's a rounding error on a home renovation. But the gap in safety, convenience, and future-proofing is enormous. The most important takeaway isn't even the brand of panel or the type of breaker. It's the quality of the installation. A premium panel installed incorrectly is more dangerous than a standard panel installed by an experienced, licensed electrician who follows code. So hire good people, insist on quality components, and take the same approach to your home's electrical system that the people who do this for a living take with theirs.